The Bucket List, take 3. La tercera vez. Ok, vamos. The Bucket List. Okay, Ian, concentrate. The Bucket List by Ian Bond. This story is inspired by a film by the same name starring the great Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman. I saw it recently on Netflix and it reminded me of the power of Hollywood. The term bucket list has become part of the English language since this film came out. In the film, Morgan Freeman's character wrote down his bucket list, but most people have their bucket list in their heads. So, what is a bucket list? And why does everyone have one? Including you. You have a bucket list. Well, first we have to learn a very old English expression. To kick the bucket. To kick the bucket. This is another way of saying to die. There are 2 possible explanations for this expression. One is that when people wanted to commit suicide, that they stood on a bucket with a rope around their necks and then kicked the bucket away. The other version is connected with pigs kicking a bucket just as they die, a reflex action. The expression is very old and it is a fun way to talk about death. So, in the film, 2 old men were in hospital and they discovered that they were both going to die. One of them started to make his bucket list, the things that he wanted to do before he kicked the bucket. The other man was rich and decided to help his friends to fulfill all his dreams. They did all kinds of wild and adventurous things, but they also attended to a lot of unfinished business, like fixing family arguments and broken relationships. So now, in English culture, it is normal for people to say, that is on my bucket list, when they see something they want to do one day. We all assume that when we are old, we will have lots of free time and some fantastic pension and money to do all these things. Let us be clear about this. A bucket list has to be real. You cannot wish to marry Brad Pitt, meet Elvis Presley, or go to the moon. These are real things that, given time and money, you could really do. Do you understand? Good. On my own personal bucket list, I have some things which have always been in my mind, like seeing the pyramids one day and taking a helicopter flight over the Grand Canyon. They are 2 of the best examples of man-made and naturally made phenomena, but they are also the most well-known. So I would like to spend some time investigating all the other possibilities. For example, no one can explain the 30 massive statues on Easter Island, or why they exist. Things like the Great Wall of China also fascinate me, as reminders of how we used to live. As an adult, I haven't been to any of the big concerts by superstars. I went to see Pink Floyd when I was about 18 years old, but I wasn't a fan of theirs. I think I would like to see someone like Elton John, the Rolling Stones, or Paul McCartney before it's too late, because they're all very old now. I'm not interested in seeing some new pop band. I want to see a legend. I also don't want to be part of some huge crowd standing in a football pitch. I like the idea of sitting in a theatre and being comfortable and being able to go to the toilet when I want to go. I guess I'm the one who's old now. In the natural world, of course, I want to see a whale with my own eyes. Not on the television, with my own eyes. I want to see one swimming beside my boat and be able to realise and see for myself its true size. You cannot get a real sense of size by seeing things on TV. I do have some problems with my nature-based wishes because I cannot swim very well, and I would never put on a diving suit to go underwater because I would panic as soon as I went under the water. Weirdly, I would go in a submarine though. Oh yes, I would love to go down to the bottom of the Atlantic and see the wreck of the Titanic. I love things from history and all the connections we have with them. I've seen the Mona Lisa in Paris, but again, it was so long ago that I don't remember it. I probably didn't appreciate it. I think that realising our dreams when we are too young is a mistake. I have a friend in England who is extremely rich, and he takes his very young children on adventures that I'm sure they won't remember when they are older. That's a shame. I love making a connection with history. I would be fascinated to see inside Hitler's house. Can you imagine inside Adolf Hitler's house? Or explore the tunnels where Winston Churchill planned the war against Hitler. I would love to stand in Picasso's studio and feel his energy, feel the energy of a genius. I would like to sit in Neil Armstrong's seat in the spaceship that took the first man to the moon. I would go crazy sitting at the piano where Paul McCartney and John Lennon composed 350 songs, all those 60 years ago. I think I could fill 10 pages with my bucket list, make a book, and the reality is I will only achieve a handful of them if I'm very lucky. Oh, in case you were thinking of giving me some surprises in the future, I absolutely do not want to jump out of an aeroplane. I cannot imagine why somebody wants to risk their life in that way. I would almost certainly have a heart attack at the moment I jumped out of a plane. So you would be wasting your money. So no thank you. No aeroplane jumping for me. I'm not a pussy, if that's what you're thinking. I love speed and danger. I love being scared and trusting in another person or a machine. Except motorbikes. I think all people who ride motorbikes are crazy and should have their heads examined and their brains taken away. When I was very young, I worked for a sports car company, so I have driven fast cars, and I have been driven around racing circuits by ex-Formula One drivers. I just screamed with pleasure all the time I was going around. They say you should never meet your heroes. That's what they say. I think this is because we only normally see the public face of famous people. And if you meet someone privately, then maybe they would destroy your image of them. Can you imagine meeting Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones? For many people, this would be a dream. But without his makeup, sitting in sunlight, just 1 meter from you? Do you really want to see this icon of rock at nearly 80 years old? Think about it. It's better the old memories. So, who or what would be on your bucket list? Tell me. Write to me. Make a video. Tell me 1 or 2 things you really want to do before you die. And tell us specifically why it's on your list. Don't be boring. Just going to London is not a bucket list. You can do that on an Avianca plane. It's got to be something good. Be adventurous and exciting. Think of something you really want to do that would cause you to say, "Thank you, God. Now I can die happy." Bucket list. Tell me. Don't be shy. Tell me your bucket list. Bye-bye.